since I've been in this bakery, since I've had a building, storefront. You know, I do have this mask on because just following all standard protocols. Actually coming down. So I guess I ain't got it on right. But today we are going to be doing, I have to take these down because I don't even think y'all can hear me. Today we are going to be doing a backwoods themed cake. It's going to be red velvet. We have our friend Betty Crocker here. Today we are using Betty Crocker. Yes, there's nothing wrong with cake mix. Sometimes I use it. It really just depends on the flavor of the cake. But today we're going to be using it. So, judge your mamas. A lot of bakers, they do use Betty Crocker. I mean, not even Betty Crocker, but just cake mix, period. You won't hear a lot of people admit that though, but it's totally nothing wrong with it. It tastes really good. You even add your own twist to it. So I'll be making more videos more often. You always gonna hear me being real and transparent about it, because hey, we gotta do what we gotta do. Okay, so first things first, calling for 1 1/4 cup of water, half cup of vegetable oil, 3 eggs. We're doing a 7-inch cake, 2 layers of cake, so it's gonna be 1 box per cake pan. And I've been using Fat Daddy O's. These are my favorite cake pans in the whole wide world. I cannot lie. One thing I did forget is to get some eggs. Okay, so I'm gonna take, I got a measuring cup, 1 cup. We need 1 1/4 cup for each box. So I'm gonna do 1 cup of water. 2 cups of water. And a half cup. That's it for the water. I'm trying to talk louder because I got this mask on. I like to add my wet ingredients first and then add this in, because a lot of times if you add this in first, it's going to be stuck at the bottom of the bowl, and then when you start pouring it down into the pan, you're going to be like, oh wow, it's batter, like, you know, the dry batter haven't been mixed in. Oh, this mask keeps coming up. I'm probably gonna go switch to a regular one. Come on, it's kind of irritating. I'll be right back, y'all. My gloves out though. So we added all our water. Now we need a half cup of oil for each box. So that's going to be 1 cup of oil. Yep. So we're going to pour this cup up. Woo. box. So we're gonna add a total of 6 eggs. And another reason why I like to add the dry last is because when you cracking these eggs, you want to make sure don't know little shells fall in there. You really could crack them in a separate bowl then pour them in, but hey, it's really what I do most of the time. As I can see, ain't no shells in there. And it'll be just my luck a shell fall in today, but no, I haven't. 4, 5, 6. So we got our water, we added oil, and now we are going to add the cake mix, red velvet. Betty Crocker, you gotta love her, okay? Always take this, just cut it, and pour it on in. Now I'm gonna take this and put it over here on the mixer. Let that mix up. Can't turn y'all over here to my mixer area. I don't have that much storage space in here, as y'all will start to notice. And I be having a lot of stuff, so I'm still really trying to get organized on where everything is. But I got my 3 mixers right here. I love this white and pink one. I personally don't care for the red one, and that's the bigger one. But yeah. Already got my oven preheated. It is turned on 250. I always keep it on 250. I always keep it on 250. The first time that I used this oven, I burnt up every cake that I put in there. Cause coming from being a baker at home, I'm thinking like, hold on. Coming from being a baker at home, I'm thinking like, it's just like at home. We put the oven on 350 at home for everything, basically. You know, everybody do. With this, I mean, the first cakes I baked was cheesecakes. They burned up within 2 minutes. I mean, no, probably like 10 to 15 minutes, they was black. So really, I started doing research, like, okay, this is a conventional gas oven, I want to say, commercial oven. I was doing research and I was seeing like, you gotta set the temperature lower. And I even was reading the book that come with it, but honestly, when I first got it, I didn't look at the temperature part. I just looked at how to turn it on, you know, how to use it. So I am using Baker's Joy. This is what I always use to grease my pans. It's good I got this mask on, because when you spray it without the mask, it's so strong you're gonna be choking. I don't know, this spray just be strong when you spray it. But when I wear my mask, it really don't bother me. What was I about to say? Yeah, so I'm gonna just spray this. This is all you need. It got the flour and oil or butter mixed in, so you ain't gotta do nothing else. Just spray this on in here. And then I'm gonna just show y'all. Probably put a little too much, but going on. over. Sprayer. Cake is finished mixing. So I'm just gonna pour this on in and split it roughly between both of the pans. Okay, I cleaned that baby out. So now we have our 2 cakes. I'm gonna open the doors. Another thing with commercial ovens, when I first saw it at the store and I was trying to open the door, I'm like, dang, it's hard. Is it broke? Is it locked? It's not locked. It's just really hard to open. But then once I start using it here, I'm like, this too hard to open and close. So what I realized is that you don't even have to push them doors up all the way, like, because if you close it, it's gonna smash closed. I'm gonna try to zoom in so y'all can see what I mean. If I can. I guess I can't. And I don't really wanna do so much. So, really I'm just gonna open this door. Probably need to be cleaned a little now. It ain't bad though. The doors are not shut closed. Like at home, you can close the door on the oven regularly, but here, you don't have to smash them closed. If y'all get what I'm saying. I'm gonna stick these cakes in here. And now I'm gonna push the door up. See, it don't smash closed, but it's closed. But it's still kind of open, but it bakes. As long as it's pushed all the way up, the farthest it can go, it'll still bake. Because if I'm trying to slam them doors closed, it's really hard. I don't even want to show y'all because I just don't. But yeah, I've been learning a lot, like with commercial oven. It was a lot. It's like a big difference from the oven that you have at home. It's like a really big change. So yeah, I'm gonna end this now because the cake's baking. I'm gonna go ahead and rinse this out, and yeah, I'm gonna come back and show y'all me preparing the edible images that's gonna be going onto the cake. See y'all. Okay guys, so real quick, I am in Microsoft Word. The cake again is a backwoods cake. So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to this font. I always pick this font, and then I'm gonna make it bigger, and then I'm gonna put caps lock on. Your name is Happy 22nd birthday, Zach. If it can go bigger and fit on one line, I will make it bigger. This is just the edible image that we're gonna be using. I'm just trying to make the font as big as it'll go and still fit on that one line. 41. Let's try 44. Okay, there we go. That's good. So this is the cake we are doing. Something like that. That's the picture the customer sent in. What am I about to do? Okay, so I'm gonna go back here and I'm going to go to online pictures. It's like the little clip art option. And then I'm going to search backwoods logo. There we go. First thing, insert that. Take this little caption part out. And then don't have to be that big, but that's a good size right there. What else is on the cake? We got some money and we got some backwoods. So I'm gonna insert picture, one picture. We're gonna insert honey. Well, we're gonna search honey backwoods. Or you know what? I actually got a document saved in Microsoft Word. With backwoods on it. So I'm gonna just copy and paste these into the document we using. But you all can really just search with the clip art option, like backwoods packs, and insert it in. But just because I already had the images, I'm gonna just go ahead and use these so I don't have to be searching and editing all over again. Add this one in too. And then I actually got $100 bill saved on here. There we go. Just have to push that option so it let's pull that up a little. I don't like my images to be at the bottom, like down here, because for some reason when it prints out, it just look crazy. My printer be tripping. I don't know. I'm gonna spool that over so I can fit another $100 bill with that. And then we should be all good. This should be good. I don't really think I can fit another one, but I'm gonna try. Okay. We got our backwoods. We got the backwoods logo. Let's look at the cake again. Do we got everything? Yes, we're gonna have to make those blunts and use some cocoa nuts for the weed. So I could exit out of that. I'm going to go back to this. I'm gonna push file, print, change it to my edible printer. And then I got my edible printer turned on. Oh, shoot. Office a little junky, so it's always junky. Here, hold on. I gotta give me some edible paper out to put in the printer. Yes, I know it's junky. Don't mind it in here, okay? Look at my gun right there. I'm gonna push print and hopefully it act right today. Okay, here we go. See what I meant when I said I don't like images at the bottom, because my printer always do that. It's like once it be printing, it just drag out that last image, the parts at the bottom. So really, that's cool. We only needed 3 anyways, because how many is on the cake? 1, 2, just 2, but we got 3. So we really all good. And really that one back there that's standing, that one could be that. So if we want to add some extra, we can. We will. We gonna see how it work, y'all. I'm finna go check on this cake in the oven and see if it's ready. And once it's time to take it out the oven, I'm gonna show y'all that process for me. Okay. I'm just cutting the images out. It has a plastic film on the back, but I like to leave that on there while I cut it. I think it's easier to cut the edible images out, and then just before you put them on the cake, you can take that plastic film off the back. They all cut now. I'm gonna just put them all in this plastic bag and seal it up, because they do not sit good out. Like, they just need to be wrapped up or put like in a sandwich bag or some type of bag. It's like a big sandwich bag. You just want to keep them wrapped up so that they don't dry up, because when they get hard, when they sit out, they get hard and then they crack. Okay, just like I told y'all, just expanding those arms. Just about to check this cake to see if it's ready. My to-go thing is just always a knife in there, stabbing it. Seems to be done, because nothing gooey is coming out. Okay, let's do this one. You wouldn't even notice this knife in here because the cake's so hot. It just seals right back up. Okay, it's ready. Now, to be honest, I try to, today I'm running behind with this cake. Not really running behind, but my typical thing is I like to bake the cake a day or two before, and then typically a day, because I just had too many cakes to be letting sit baked. So I'm gonna sit that in there. I want that to get cold because it's still hot. It just came out the oven, so of course it needs to cool down before I could decorate it. If I start decorating while it's hot, cake is gonna melt apart and it is going to be terrible. And trust me, in my time of baking at home, remember when I first started baking, this freezer a little hard to open after a while. But I baked the cake and it wasn't all the way cool. When it fell apart once the customer got it, that was like 2 years ago though. Trust me, I learned my lesson. So now those gonna sit in there, cool down. Once they totally cool, I'm gonna take it back out and then we're gonna start decorating this cake. So really, I just cut the sound out of this video right here, and I'm just gonna be talking over it because there were a few people in the background talking. It was music on, so I'm really just going to decorate the cake that we baked together now. Yeah, it won't be up close as I planned for it to be, but you all will still see just how I put this cake together. So I got my 2 cake layers out the freezer. They aren't really frozen. They're just at the perfect temperature. Really cool. So I'm going to put some icing on this cake board. That's just so that the cake is not sliding once I sit it on there. And then you're really just going to see me sit the layers on there and trim the little budgy part off the top. So I'm really just getting the cake evened out with the icing around it. It's not going to look perfect because I'm covering it with various edible images like we put together. But I'm going to go get my cake scrapers. I got one that is a straight one that I'm going to use to get the top of the cake. I'm just cleaning up the area, but I'm gonna use that to get the top of the cake edges even. And again, it don't have to be perfect because I'm gonna cover that with icing. And now I have the cake cone with the edges like this. You can get off Amazon. Just search cake cone, and it just will give you that line effect. You see how the cake get, and you just scrape it on there and brush. You got to put the excess icing back into the bowl or it's gonna look sloppy. And again, mine is not perfect just because I'm doing edible images over it. Otherwise, I would have took time out to slowly perfect it. Yep. Just cleaning up some of that excess icing. So now that this is all set, I'm pulling out my edible images that we printed out and cut out. And then I'm just gonna start placing them onto the cake where I feel like they should be. And then I end up getting me a piping bag. I'm just putting that red icing in there. And then I am just going to go ahead and pipe all around the cake. So now that I got the icing on the edges of the cake, I'm just going to finish adding these edible images. This is the happy birthday banner that we did the first time. Just sticking that right at the bottom. I prefer not to write happy birthday on cakes. My handwriting isn't good. I just don't like how it looks. Typically, I would decline. And then just sticking a little backwood there. Remember, the edible image paper has like a little plastic film on the back, so you got to make sure you peel that off before you put it on the cake. You don't want nobody to try to eat no plastic. And I'm literally just gonna stick all the other images on onto the cake where they go. You know, you really just stick your edible images wherever you feel like they should be. Okay, so now I got my cocoa nugs. You can search coconugs.com and order you some. I'm using the chocolate chip brand. I got my brown Americolor food coloring. I got me some powdered sugar, and I got me some white fondant, store-bought, just come out the box. I did try to make fondant before, but I don't like that process, so I just buy it. I'm adding me some brown food coloring onto the white fondant, and I'm just mixing it around. Gonna make the blunts or woods, whatever you want to call it, that go on the cake. They're edible. Just adding powdered sugar, because once you add the food coloring, it starts to get sticky and messes up the texture of the fondant. So you just have to add powdered sugar on so that it's not too sticky, because I want the fondant to be more darker, like a darker brown, like how a blunt would look if somebody was smoking it. Not that I smoke or anything, but I do know how they look. So yep, just a darker brown. Just gonna keep mixing that around until it's the color that you are looking for. Adding some more powdered sugar on there. More food coloring, because I just need it to be a little bit darker. It's literally like playing with Play-Doh. You can also buy your fondant color already, but I literally just got me a big bucket of Say and Ice, I want to say, brand fondant from a food supply store, and I just color it once I need to. Used to have a hard time coloring it, but I pretty much got the hang of it now. It's just a game. You gotta make sure the texture is good. So now I'm just rolling the blunt out to how a blunt is gonna look, and I'm literally going to roll it around. Now I'm just gonna sit that on the cake, and I'm really just gonna end up positioning it how I want. And I'm gonna do the same for an open blunt, where I'm gonna have an edible weed sitting inside it. It's not edible, like it's not gonna get you high, you just could eat it. It's like chocolate Rice Krispie treats or something. It's really smart. I think that was a really smart invention for them, for the company to make. But yep, it's pretty simple. So you'll just see me sitting everything on top of the cake now. using my steamer to go over the images. That's why it looks so glossy. It makes everything glossy. It's just a regular clothes steamer. And then I'm gonna show y'all the finished cake once I throw it in a box.